Fox.
History books are made to be broken. Every generation seeking to surpass the previous.
What we call it, Jared, you know?
To leave their own mark. With every moment etched in time.
Well, as a matter of fact, I think we have a special secret guest here at Radio Fox. Jeremy McGrath's room, please.
One moment, I'll connect you.
Honor yesterday. Invent tomorrow.
Hello, Jeremy?
That might be me.
Jeremy, how's it going?
Reintroducing Radio Fox. A broadcast by VurbMoto.
Radio Fox, we're back. Night 2, Jason Weigandt, Kevin Kelly. Pick up the phone there and see if you can even figure out how the rotary dial works. It's not even...
It's Bill Clinton. He's president.
Even,
it's 1993,
wow,
boys.
That's what it's like. Yeah,
That's what's
exactly.
happening.
There's a lot going on in Clinton's office right now.
No.
You know what I really miss? There was a really cool look when you carried a phone. See this thing back here?
When you
that
walked
was like
around?
a really cool. When you walked around like that,
Yeah.
that
And
was a
then when
cool way to do it. And
when
it's
you were
gone
upset and you smash that thing down and it makes that ringing sound.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Doesn't have that in there.
Nope, doesn't have it. But yeah, so
We're ready for racing today. We actually had some. We'll show you some highlights.
we will. But if you want to know what Radio Fox is about and why,
Yeah.
you know, how this all even came about, you need to go back in time, just not to 1993,
Not to the phone level.
but just to last night. So check out the first show to kind of break down what even this is even all about. So this is what Radio Fox is.
Yeah, so we had Davey on yesterday, Davey Coombs, to talk about the original Radio Fox. That's yesterday's show if you want to watch that. But we're going to check in with highlights because we actually had racing today, and we'll start with the class you probably want to know about the most, which is Open Pro Sport. These are the guys that are about to turn pro, probably in just a couple days at Unadilla.
Yeah, I mean, this was your class back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's the class I dominated. We had different names back then. I think it was called
Beginner
Expert.
A,
yeah.
50 beginner, I think is what it's
D-class.
called, but now they call it Pro Sport. So.
Here's Open Pro Sport highlights from day 1 of Racing Tuesday. Okay, here's the start. Just watch to the right side here.
Whoa, that blue Yamaha, that's Gavin Towers. He got pushed off the side of the racetrack. He's got some work to do, Jason.
Yeah, he's way back. It's Bryce Shelley who's actually going to grab that Stasic hole shot. So Shelley's out front early, trying to show that he can run with the big dogs. And Towers on the 15 is going to be in comeback mode. But I think the rider that everyone was really watching in this one is Dax Bennick. There's Shelley in the lead. Bennick starts about 6th or 7th. He's going to have to work his way forward with this pack in front of him.
There's a 75. Evan Ferry was up front for a minute. The third bike he's rode this year. Guy's been on a few different bikes this year, Jason.
Yeah, now on a gas caster. Here you see Bennick starting to roll his way forward on that number 41. He catches Shelley, the early leader, and going to make the move in the center.
You got to think it helps having his deal already signed, sealed, and delivered. He's just having fun for it.
Yeah, and he did get to race a couple pro races this summer. So Bennick, who had a couple of bad years at Loretta's, and then last year really found his form again, and he's been really strong since. And he starts to pull away from Shelley. And then a cavalry was coming, a couple Honda riders. Viney, Parker Ross were on the move.
Yeah, Parker Ross on that number 12. We didn't say their names too early in the moto, but we're going to say it now. There's Viney there on the 61.
Yeah, and there's Ross right behind him. They get Shelley.
There's Shelley.
And then eventually he'll have Towers after that off-track excursion moving forward. Parker Ross, man, that was impressive.
Unbelievable. Great ride for him. Mike Brown was not supposed to be in this moto, jumped in late. And
Wow,
actually,
what?
No,
Wow, I did not. Wow.
It's like, Mike Brown,
Crazy.
you're trying to ride everything?
Yeah, I'm going to win every class out here. I'm going to win 65. So there's Ross is going to put his Honda up into 3rd. And one other rider to watch is Avery Long. So Avery Long, not as bad off the start as Towers, but Avery Long would move forward as well to make a bid for the podium. There you see him on the left side, do the 10 Commandments. And a good charge by
Towers
him.
there.
Yep.
15, I believe.
Yep, there's Towers. He was having a cup of coffee, I think, with Star Racing, starting to do some of his riding and training there at the goat farm. There's Shelley on the 34 and Viney. They're starting to work their way back.
There's that very simple double that is very easy to
jeez.
clear and a very smooth racetrack these guys were greeted with.
And it all leads to a checkered flag there for Bennick. Long would come through. Parker Ross would end up 3rd. Mark Phineas, another great ride for
Great
him.
ride. He came through the field. He was way outside the top 15, maybe 20th.
Yeah, and same thing with Towers, able to recover and get inside the top 5. Okay, 250B, same thing. You can watch the whole shot, but there's another rider with a bigger story to tell. Hayes Edwards, rider out of Texas, gets the whole shot, but one of the favorites, Logan Best, going to go down right here in turn 2.
Perfect form, perfect dismounts. The judge loved it. He's going to hop right back on that bike, but he's going to let 40 guys go past him. But a lot of action right there in front of us.
That's Casey Cochran trying to get around Edwards to take over the early lead. So Best would be back in, last place, which is 40th here at Loretta's. Man, Casey Cochran's been on the gas lately.
Yeah, he put on a clinic, man. He was a few seconds a lap faster, and he looked fantastic coming off some of those combine races. Not in Columbine, but it was a combine race. The Kawasaki riders right here.
Oh, Janik and Drew Adams. You also had Aiden Kiefer up front early in this one at Kawasaki. Enzo Temmerman. A lot of Cowies in this.
Yes, Ryan Holiday is paying these boys good to be in this B class. There is...
That's Kiefer.
Kiefer, there you go. He was up front early.
Yeah, he was running a podium for most of this moto. Then it's Adams on the 30. Janik tipped over and lost a couple of positions, and then eventually Adams able to get around Kiefer to move into second, but by then Cochran was long gone.
Yeah, there he was. He got around the number 20 of Kiefer, and maybe we can talk to Adams about this moto later on.
Yeah, we'll get Adams on the show. How about that?
That'd be cool if he popped in.
Here's Christian Janik trying to make up for the crash that he had, and another Kawasaki rider, Enzo Temmerman, would eventually make a run for the podium. Casey Cochran, yeah, he's got the Supercross Futures title. He won the Combine at Redbud, and he's off to the races. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, a little head nod there. He knew he won. He's going to stop now. There it is.
Yep, and Temmerman would take third. Landon Peppard was up there. He had a tip over as well, but was able to get Kiefer at the end for fourth. Kiefer holding on for a top 5.
Adams having a little sip of drink there. Let's go right into 65, 7 and 9 limited. Let's hope it starts a little cleaner. They've learned from the big guys.
Yeah, don't go around that beach turn right there, guys. That was beautiful. That's Eli Herrick pulling the whole shot there. But I feel like already we got a rivalry building at Loretta's between Cade Nightingale and Jaden Smart. There's a Nightingale who's now a Yamaha rider up front.
And you're not going to see Smart for a while because he had a lot of work to do in this moto.
Yeah, he actually crashed early and was last. That's going to allow Nightingale to get up front. And again, these two have been in 50 classes, in the electric 50 class, now in the 65s. They've been out front for a long, long time.
There's our first look at Smart there. He's got some work to do, the Cobra guys, and they're happy with that finish, though. Look at that, all the way up to the number 2 spot.
Yeah, but basically last, Anderson, Waldell, Seth Kmitz, and Talon Hinson round out the top 5. Nightingale with the gold. Okay, we're joined by a guest. We got Drew Adams here. Put a moto in this pocket today up on the podium, but Kevin, you were more interested in the sunblock game?
Yes, Trey Kennard. I always check in on my buddy Trey Kennard. I check in on Drew. I'm looking at him. He's not burnt, man. My kids go to the beach. It's a bloodbath down there. So it's hard to keep these kids lathered up in sunblock, and I'm concerned. You're looking good. You said you haven't put any on in how long?
Yeah, definitely. Probably a few months to be now. I definitely try and stay out of the sun and the heat of Florida. But yeah, just out there training every day. I definitely got some tan line to where my jersey meets my skin. But
is that as tan as you've ever been in your life? Right now, hold them up. Look at me and you. Yeah,
it's pretty solid arms right there.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
Come a long way.
I got burned a little bit this week so far. So.
Okay, yeah.
But not in the moto. He had a good moto.
You did not get burned on the track, right?
No.
That's all we're concerned with.
Trey Kennard once got sunburn on his nose while riding. So I'm just telling you it's out there. Out there. That little bit of the goggle and the helmet.
Yeah, I will literally, I slathered him up at Daytona during track walk. Trey Kennard.
You did?
Absolutely.
Don't take his offer.
No, let his
up
mother
that.
do it. He's a minor. That's weird. I get that, but
your moto, I felt like you on a Kawasaki were battling with Kawasaki's the whole time.
Yeah.
It was like a whole group of you moving forward.
Yeah, so I actually didn't. I got a pretty good start for how I was coming into the first turn, obviously, and then just tried to make the passes quick. And I was up there with Christian. I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he had a tiny tip over at the start, and then Enzo was coming towards the end. He was riding really good, but I caught a second win in the last few laps and held him off.
Are you thinking money? I know Ryan Holiday has his wallet out as soon as the moto's over.
Wow, really?
He makes his passes on his teammates. Yeah, absolutely. It's Team Green Cash, man. It's a big week for this guy.
Yeah, that's
what it's all about.
We're here, isn't it?
That's
right. It's all about the Benjamins.
When you're at the amateur races, you're here for the money. That's how it works. So yeah, I found out this year you're actually riding where the Dog Pound, is that what we call it now, the Lawrence Brothers place?
Yeah, I've been there for just over a year now. I came there before a month and a half before this event last year, prepped with them, and been training there for the past year and a half, or not year and a half.
How fun is it just going back and forth with those guys? It's got to be a hoot.
I mean, pretty much all we do is talk crap. I mean, that's how we make each other better. I mean,
he's the next Ryan Delafoto. He's coming.
Sounds like a bad way to do it, but that's what we do most of the time.
They're brutal, right? But it toughens you up, man. You can deal with dorks like us, no problem.
Yeah.
Do you ride, like, are you riding with them, or are you on like a separate deal?
Yeah, we're on the track at the same time most of the time. Jen Hunter have their warm up, and then they ride and we ride, and
Showing them some hot lines. Are you teaching them, or who's teaching who?
Oh, I think I'm definitely teaching them out there.
You know? Get some. There's the crap talking right there. That's directly to you, Lawrence's.
Now, how does that come about? Like, obviously, that's an awesome place to ride. How does your parents approach them? Do you talk to their dad? Do you go? How does this happen?
So it was actually.
You have
my
a translator, number one. Your dad is from Chattanooga, heavy Southern accent. You got the Lawrences from Australia. Like, how do they communicate? That's so interesting.
Yeah. So actually, my team manager Ryan Holiday is
The
good
translator.
buddies with the manager of the compound, Dan Truman.
Okay.
And,
They're buddies.
He helped me. He helped me get down there for the first month before this event last year, and yeah, I've just loved it ever since.
Dan Truman, the fixer.
He
you
is
you
the
have
guy.
something that you need to
He
get
has a
taken
special
care
set
of?
of skills. He's a Liam Neeson of this whole motocross program.
Yes. So how much better do you think you've gotten getting to ride with that group and at a great place like that?
Definitely a lot better, a lot stronger. You know, last year here I was a little kid on a little big bike, and this year I'm definitely can manhandle it more. And I think like once you get bigger and stronger, the speed comes with it. So I think that's definitely what helped me.
Learner's permit, you're 15. How'd that go down? Did you take that test once or twice? How many times did you go? More than once?
I failed it twice.
Yes, I knew it, dude.
I got it the third time, but
The third time was the charm.
it's a little embarrassing.
Because you didn't study the first time. You're like, oh, I can drive.
I didn't study at all. I thought it was easy.
Andrea Lee doesn't have a program for that, but on track, come on.
It was I mean it was tough.
Wow. This guy like rides a
knew it.
motorcycle practically like every day, but the car thing.
Skill set.
Was it the driving that's a problem or just
No,
the test?
it's the rules,
It's
man.
like the driving. No, you actually don't do the
During
driving
it's all-
part during
it's
the
all
permit.
written.
It's all written, but like it's just the DUI stuff. I didn't really understand much of
I see.
that.
How many DUIs have you have? No.
Oh, I've definitely had like 20, 30. You know.
DUI.
I'm
It's
joking.
messing.
Cut.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cut that out. You dialed now?
Yeah, I got my permit.
He's in AA.
I drive
getting
everywhere.
everything cleaned
Yeah.
up.
It's not a program. Do you think you scare people when they're the passenger? Are they accepting of your driving?
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I can only drive with people 21 and over.
Yeah.
So,
how
like,
do
they can buy the
how do
beer
they
for
feel
you.
about it? Are they nervous?
No.
Okay.
I mean, my mom lets me drive everywhere. I drive with some of my buddies that are older than me, but I mean, I like driving.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
Sometimes my mom makes me drive on the interstate for like a few hours, and I get bored of that. I don't. Like the interstate obviously gets you where you need to go, but it sure is boring. Just those 3 lanes looking at them.
Now they're using you to help them.
Yeah.
As opposed to you using them to help you. Hey, do they still have the go-kart track down there? That's Chad Reed's old place. Is that still set up?
Yeah. I mean, it's still there. We don't. The go-karts are kind of. I haven't touched them at all because like once you ride them, you gotta like change the tires and do a bunch of work to them.
Okay.
Clean up the track. Like the track's getting like a little rough now, so like.
All right.
I don't know.
That's a bummer.
Speaking of doing any kind of bike maintenance, I'm seeing you jumping through the stuff there. Can you do anything on a motorcycle? Can you change tires, filter?
I mean,
top end?
I've done like regular work before, like change oil, change air filter, change wheels, but like I don't.
That's not bad.
That's
though.
not-
I mean, I could definitely learn if I worked on it for a little bit, but
Your dad comes from like a dirt track. Is that in that kind of where that? what
yeah,
you're
he
into?
road raced before I did any of that. I rode around on a little Honda 50 at the road races, and we actually got kicked out of one because of me riding around in the grass and making ruts. But yeah,
Came
my
in
dad.
handy out here today. Early rut practice.
Yeah, my dad's worked on my bikes and pretty much the whole time, other than ever since I moved up to big bikes. Derek, my mechanic, is he's the one that does my race stuff.
So are your parents down there, or are you on your own now?
No, my parents live with me.
Okay, so everybody made the move.
His parents live with him. Do you hear that?
Oh, my parents live with me.
I got a
I'm
little
driving
house.
them on the interstate.
10 green bucks are doing pretty good with that.
Yeah.
Pays the bills.
So the whole family made the move.
Yeah. My sister still lives up in here in Tennessee because she
Yep.
does she has a job up here and does school. But yep, me, my mom, and my dad living in Florida.
Are you any good at any sports? I know you're not good at basketball.
Oh,
I'm not
here we
even gonna
go.
there. I
You-
won't.
you-
I
oh,
won't embarrass you.
You
I
gotta
will.
drop that. That was like 3 years ago.
I will do it until you can beat me.
You see how much stronger he is now? Are
He's
you
a
sure
big
you're going
man.
to back him down now?
I think I still can. Look at them. There's no athletic ability in those legs
look
right
how
there. You
much-
see
he just
that?
got second in the moto today.
But
My
so
gosh.
any other sports you've ever played, like anything at all?
Not much. Not very good at basketball, I guess. I'm pretty good at ping pong.
Pretty good. You're not pretty good at basketball.
We play that a lot. Ping pong in
Okay.
Florida. That's like.
There it is. Ping
That's
pong.
like a recovery mode, doesn't sap too much energy.
I would definitely
riding.
say that like my
Pickleball?
main recovery is like gaming. Like once we get done training, I do my work and then I go in my house and game.
There he is. Keep that heart rate low. That's the way you want to do it. I asked Ryan Dungey this once. I'm like, did you know, it'd be one thing if you were like a baseball player and you could throw the ball super fast compared to any other kid your age. Motocross is different athletically. Did you ever like say run the mile run in school and they're like, dude, you got some insane cardio talent. Like, does this stuff, did you notice this compared to other kids even when you were young?
I wouldn't say I was the best runner in school. I mean,
Yeah. What about a bicycle? Like, were you riding a bicycle super young? Were you like better?
Yeah,
than other kids on bicycles?
I've never struggled with like bicycle riding or nothing. Like,
Right.
Obviously, that's easy. I mean, we rode bike down in Florida, so. But no, I honestly didn't do much when I was a kid.
Really?
I dirt biked. That's what I did.
That was it. A dirt bike. And honestly, I feel like you were good, but I feel like you've been on like a progression the whole time. It wasn't like you were dominant for like the very, very, very first time you were here, right?
No, I actually, I think the first year I was here, I got third, and I was so stoked, and I came back the next
You
year.
got third the first year.
That's pretty good, actually.
Maybe it was
Lord.
third in a moto and like
Yeah.
something overall in the top
That's
10.
pretty rad, yeah.
And then I came back here the next year, like, I was like, I'm gonna win. And I got
Yeah.
like 21st overall.
Dude, that's crazy.
And then my third year here, I won all 3 motos and won a title.
Third year.
So the second year was actually the tough one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that year. I must say, I don't really remember it much.
Well, we got some highlights to watch, and you were part of the highlight package we've been watching throughout the whole process. That's Drew Adams. He's a bad man. He's pale. He's going to need some sunblock at some point, but we're glad you stopped into Radio Fox, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. See ya.
So good. What is the vurbmoto Shred Tour?
That was rad.
Only the greatest time of your effing life. Imagine a 24/7 summer camp for dirt bikes.
That's what it's all about.
Who else can claim they've jumped off the world's largest rocking chair? No one. It's a Guinness World Record. Who else combines live wrestling and dirt bikes? No one. Activities for all ages, including Stasic and Granger E2 demos, and bikes, e-moto racing, fist gloves, free hot dogs, bands, and yeah, actual real racing. Oh, and a free $20 to motorsport.com. Everyone who comes through the gate. Yes, everyone. Join us for the vurbmoto Shredheads at Fox Raceway, October 28th and 29th in Pala, California. Visit vurbmoto.com for more details.
Let's drop the gate here for 85, 10 to 12, the sweet sounds of two strokes. It's really the heart of this race to have 85cc riders on the gas hard. And this track really lends itself to these types of bikes. And it's going to be Darren Pine pulling the whole shot. And I think that was the great anticipation. People knew Pine was going to be fast.
Yeah, he's been good for a minute now and showing you exactly his skill set going into the 10 Commandments of 58.
Yep, Wyatt Thurman and Sawyer Geek, Wyatt Duff, they were all up front early on. And Pine would just control this one basically from beginning to end. That's how fast this kid is. So this might be the next big name you want to think about, this 58 Darren Pine. You can see him starting to get away from the other riders, like the 74 here of Wyatt Thurman. Briefly had the lead with the whole shot, but Pine was checking out from there.
Oh, one rider goes down, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Braxton Mez was up there because of the mistakes that a couple other riders made, and that's going to help as well.
More Pine time for you there, the 74.
Yeah, 74 is Thurman, just trying to keep pace up front and cling to a podium position. These riders are a little bit big for these bikes when they try to get in these ruts.
Yeah, and it's like their second stop, or the first stop on the 85. They're fresh off of 65, so tipping over in rust is pretty common for these dudes.
Yep. So there's Pine bringing it around the beach turn and taking a dominant moto win. Thurman, whole shot, and would end up in the number 2 spot on the number 74. And Braxton Mez, a good job ahead of Wyatt Duff and Tace Morgan. Remember those names. They're going to be battling up front at Loretta's for the next couple of years. And then one group up from that is the mini senior division. And Vincent Way was on his game today on the number 27 in both classes.
Yeah, he had great starts, great gear, great jawline, just like his old man. So everything's looking good for Vincent Way. I believe he will walk away ultimately with a whole shot here.
Yeah, he
went towards the front anyway.
Well, it was wild. People were saying he started 10th, he started 30th. Oh, big crash there. But Way would quickly move his way to the number 1 spot.
That was the pass on that first lap, so he will be credited with leading.
Yep, so there it is. He gets the lead over rider we were calling Airwolf in the number 2 spot. That's Jace Wolf. And Jonathan Getz on the 22 also trying to work his way forward. But I'm telling you what, maybe a little bit of a coming out party. Way's been good here, but not this good.
No, he was absolutely flawless in this moto. Only dirt he had was from about a half a lap of getting roosted. Look at that.
That is
picture
crispy.
perfect. Yeah, that's looking good.
Yes, keeping that Husqvarna clean up front. Jonathan Getz would eventually be able to make a run up to second, but wouldn't really be able to make up too much ground. He's on the number 22 there. Try to catch Way. We are through the 10 Commandments. But Getz and Way have battled here before, so this might not be over as far as the rest of the week and the title is concerned.
There's another look at the 22. Vincent Way able to score a set of gear for the week. That was nice of the guys that
I
answer.
think he's got some connections.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. And there's Getz in second. Eventually Cole Blecka, Colby Lassar.
Carson Wood maybe off the track. Or no, I'm not sure if that was him. I saw that.
Yeah,
Bike problems there. That's what's happening.
I see.
There it is.
Oh, boy. That was considered one of the contenders there, but that's the end of it for him. And then his other moto later in the day, he would have a couple tip-overs while battling other riders and barely get it in the top 10. So a tough start to the week for Wood, but a great one for Vincent Way, who will take the win here over Getz and Blecka. That's Mini Senior, too. Okay, if you like the sound of two strokes, we're going to bring some more. 125 BC, kind of a classic class here. There's Tiger Wood, who's one of the favorites, but not the good gate pick. And you know, Kevin, that happens in Moto 1s often here.
Yeah, they get random gate picks, and Wood's going to have to work for it.
Clark Robbins out of New Jersey grabbing the whole shot. Hunter Racing, he's out front early on. There he is, starting to get away, but man, Tiger Wood doing some work.
Yeah, he's going to go to work, and Robbins wears the number 4 for a reason. He is the returning 4th-place finisher from last year, and he's got to feel good coming into this moto, but Wood was strong at 2 different regionals, so we knew he was going to be great here.
Rider originally out of Australia, but it's 43. He's been based in the U.S. for quite a while. He's up front on Super Minis and now on 125s and trying to make some moves. Christian Merriman on the number 19, Austin Schaefer on the 36, also in contention. But finally, Wood is going to get in a second and then try to run down Clark Robbins.
And he's going to stop about midway through and put on some red gear like Tiger Woods when it's in that championship mode. Yeah.
Oh, that's how you know the pressure's on.
Getting serious.
Yep. He's looking to be the master of the Masters here. Not 50 plus like Mike Brown, but at least the master of the 125 BC. And he would eventually get to the rear wheel of Robbins. But for Robbins, this is how you make a name for yourself, running up front like this.
Absolutely. And if you can fight off this guy, can score a moto win, but hey, second's as good as the first here at Loretta's if you're doing that moto math that we talk about.
Yeah, not for the on-track actual schooling program, but in moto terms,
don't try that in school.
Not bad. So Wood would eventually make the move, and that would drop Robbins back to the number 2 spot there on that number 4. And Wood controlled it from there in the gas, the Australian, winning the first moto of 125 BC.
Hole-in-one for Tiger Woods here with the win. Robbins, Merman will finish. That's your top 3.
We'll go to Masters 50 plus. Mike Brown's in this moto, everybody.
He's really good.
That's bad news for everyone else. There's our guy Emig starting second. He had taken a loss to Brown earlier in the day, but was trying to keep him honest here in 50 plus, but that's about as honest as you can keep Brown.
Yeah, and props to Jeff. That was his best start, too, the first moto earlier in the... Oh, and that's probably I saw that.
Might have been
it, what did the damage to that front wheel.
Yeah, and then suddenly Brown's going real slow. I think even problems with the forks and the wheel. And Emig starts to reel him in because Brown can barely even go. There's Emig now in the lead.
Yeah, he made the pass and said he was confused, like what was going on, why. He expected to deal with him again, but he's like, all right, I'll take a win. There's Emig.
Yeah, we'll take it. There's the front wheel of Brown. Barry Karsten takes third.
A huge congratulations there for the number 47.
Pulled number 47, pulled another one out. Got a little lucky, but I'll take it.
Of course. That's Jeff Emig.
Good stuff from Jeff Emig. They're in here. Oh, you like that? Was that?
He thinks he's
so natural and spontaneous.
Yeah, that was totally real, man.
Wow.
That was totally real.
Yeah.
Radio Fox. So we had Davey on last night talking about the original, like 92, 93. I think they called you. I think you were part of it.
So the
maybe over
first
phone.
one was
Yes.
I did a call in because
Yes.
I wasn't probably wasn't allowed to come back then, or I thought coming back wasn't cool yet. Like I wasn't established as a pro, and then after a little bit you're like,
But
hey,
you
I'm
were
going
involved.
back.
Like you got the phone call.
Sounds like it.
You
Davey said it. It happened.
You don't even remember necessarily.
There's a lot of people who don't remember those first few nights.
But I
of
do
Radio Fox.
remember like maybe the next year or something being here, and I remember like Mickey Diamond showing up with a tray full of like draft beers and cups.
Tray.
Like spilling.
Not a
in the-
cooler.
Oh.
But see, it was radio. Nobody
Very
saw
classy.
that then.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It
so
wasn't like cool like this one. With
not
where
well.
it's video.
Yeah. Well, the problem is video.
You know?
We don't get the tray.
Yeah, and there's no beer, then it's
No.
So
No. Well, you're the one on the podium this morning. You told me maybe Friday. Maybe Friday. You're an
there's
athlete
no
for the-
maybe about Friday.
I thought there would be a maybe about Monday
You're
or
like,
Tuesday.
hey, because
but
I got this new gear, this wee big gear, and it's all Jack Daniels. And then he's like, oh, is that your new like
energy
hydration
drink,
I was
bro.
like,
Yeah,
nah,
drink it
I'm
on
all
the
Rhino
podium.
Power until I think what's our last race on Friday. So the third moto of the 50 is like 4 o'clock. So like 4:30.
4:31
It's straight up
on
Jack
that
and Diet
podium.
Coke after that.
I'm straight up pumped that you actually are holding off until then. Good job.
Dude, I'm a professional.
Have you seen this body?
Oh my God, dude, it's so hard to ride at this age when, like, I took like almost a year off, and then I got this 300 two-stroke, started riding it, but my plan was to start riding in like December, January, and I didn't get it together until April 16th.
April 16th.
Yeah, so I'm like way behind.
So when you went to like a area, was
at
that
Swan,
Yeah.
so my mechanic BJ Burns,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
we do all the races together, and so he coaches back there and all that. So I call him and I said, hey, I'm coming to the area qualifier at Swan this weekend, and he's like, when did you start riding again?
Last weekend.
I'm like, well, I rode like I rode 30 minutes at Paris, and I'm gonna ride today, so I'm gonna drive 2,000 miles, 24-hour drive one way. Like to the deal. And I think back to being at Swan, I'm like, I couldn't even do 4 laps like with any sort of intensity or anything.
Yeah.
And then a month later was Freestone, so another drive. And we picked up the pace a little bit, worked on the bike a little bit, you know, and then a couple months to train. But yeah, I mean.
Still carrying the banner though for the two-stroke Mafia.
Oh, yeah.
I dig that. And I mean, you got the hat.
Can you see
There you go. You're making it look good again.
Deal?
But you're not on the 125
On the
anymore. You did
300.
Or the 150.
No,
150?
but you would have thought I was that first race in the,
Dude,
in
you
the
were buried.
30. I was like 35th.
Yeah.
So my mechanic BJ, so he pulled my pick, and it was spot number 8, or
you're good.
eighth pick, I should say.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm like, dude, I could have let the gate drop and not even had the bike in gear, and maybe found a better position around the first turn than what I actually did.
That was 100% on you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Used to be good
But
at
I don't
that.
take that many gate drops or anything, right?
Yeah.
And so then in the plus 50, I had like 17th gate pick, and I'm out there kind of by myself, and I'm like, oh shit, or can I say shit? Shit.
That's cool with it, all right.
And so I'm out there, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have anybody around me, and then here comes the old number 1, like,
The old number one being Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. And then
He's
I'm
a
like,
beast.
all right, so we
Yeah.
got clear track. I get a chance to follow some of his lines, and it's like, where did he go?
Oh wow.
What line did he take? It was like 4 seconds a lap, and maybe even 5. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I can't hang with him.
I mean, right now, if that dude hops in the 450 Nationals, how do you think he finishes?
I mean, the thing is, like, what people talk about, like, you know, and even Malcolm Stewart was on the, you know, on the PA today, and he was like, he's down there training with us, riding with us, like all this, and you know, I really respect like the level that he's at. It's just insane that, you know,
There is no break. You took a year off.
no,
He
and I mean,
does not take a break.
And being 50, he's 51. I'm 52, so he's 51.
Yeah.
And to ride at this level like he does,
Yeah.
you know, because I watched last year and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna race him again.
you're gonna do
Because
it.
once you get the plus 50 Masters, there's no more age after that. That's it. Once it's 50. Everyone else, you're just getting older,
Yes,
and new
and they're getting
50-year-olds
faster.
keep coming in.
Yep.
But, you know, I mean, it's fun, you know, it's fun. I mean, we all, what's great about it is like the camaraderie in the vet classes, like everyone's, checking in with everyone, how you been as a kid, blah, blah, blah. Mike and I were sitting there talking about our kids and sports and stuff. And
How's the colon?
Okay, all right, Gate's going to go. Let's go race.
You ended up winning the moto, though. You did end up winning it.
I did.
Mike Brown broke a wheel.
Dude, I passed him and dropped him like he had.
There it is.
I passed him and he faded like he had a broken front wheel.
That's exactly what he had.
There's no like.
No, but hey, seriously, I catch up to him as a whole group of riders, and we were like by like the finish line area, and then I see there's a number 1, and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on with Brownie? And then I'm thinking, did he just fall down or something and get like caught up? Is he gonna be like right on my ass again? Or is something wrong?
Yeah.
So it took me like a lap or two to diagnose if he was still behind me, and like, oh, cool.
He's gone.
He's gone. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
I'll take it.
Yeah, did you want to deal with an angry Mike Brown with about 3 laps to go?
Well, dude.
There's no dealing. If you can get one more bad luck moto out of him, you could be in control.
I'm not planting that seed. You can plant that seed.
Control and go into that 3rd moto.
Yeah. Then all he needs is a second.
All he needs is a second. That's what I'm saying. You control your own destiny at
Looking
that
for
point.
some spoke looseners out there in the crowd there.
Yeah, but
Help
seriously,
him out.
it's so fun racing. I mean, it's so much work, and I mean, it's a ton of money even for me to come do all this.
Yeah.
Ton of effort. And some people kind of ask you, like, the track is not easy. It's not fun per se.
Yeah.
Like, it's really challenging, but that's almost part of the attraction. And, I didn't get to ride in 82. I did crappy at Ponca, and my dad said, we're not going to the new race. If this is the effort you're going to give, we're going home. I was 11. But I raced here in 83. I mean, that was 40 years ago. And so, sometimes I'm like, man, what just brings me back, that attraction. And I mean, there's gonna be plenty of time to play golf and hang out on the boats and shit like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep racing Loretta's. Like, I really like doing the process of this race, not like a full year commitment. I mean, I probably should do a couple extra months, but
April 17th.
But it's great, and to be down here with everybody, everybody's tuning into the webcast at home. I mean, I was upstairs when you guys were late starting the show today. I was up there. I had like 50 Instagram messages to answer, and it's like you feel like a pro again for a week, so it's super fun.
Yeah,
what's so funny?
I think that's the standard question. Like, why are you doing this?
They're just on the schedule. Hold on, on the schedule,
Yeah.
it said 7:30 p.m. Time subject to change or something like that, and then it
changed.
I'm like, hey, what are we? I'm
Definitely
here.
changed.
They're like, what's the subject to change?
Heavy on the subject to change. Heavy on that. Later,
Dude, it's
Yeah.
Radio
Like one or
Fox,
two.
man. There's no rules here. I mean, do you remember any of that stuff going back? I was here year 1 of Radio Fox. Like, the phone call to you, like, did you even know what the heck was going on when they called you? Like, is this live? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I wasn't a Fox athlete or anything. It's just Pete's like, hey, we're doing this thing. Like, we're gonna call you. It's like, okay. So.
Oh, you had a little tip off.
Yeah, I
Little
knew
idea.
somebody was calling.
Oh, okay. At least that.
I was like, hello.
Yeah.
That's Fro. Who's calling?
Yeah. But what you were
Like-
saying last night, like, then DMXS and all these podcasts come along. The point Kevin made is that until then, no one had ever heard a rider really outside of a podium interview.
Just casually talk about
No one had done
any
it.
No, and I did
conversation.
DMXS in the trophy shop before.
He's done it. He's been in
Yeah,
house.
I go way back.
Yeah, man.
I mean, dude, I'm 52 years old. I've done a lot of
You've
this
seen
shit.
a lot. You've seen a lot.
know?
Yeah, gosh. Do you actually feel, okay, after a rough moto, like, do you feel good the next day, or does it take, like, time to recover? Like, how does that work?
I try to keep myself pretty healthy. The main thing for me at age 50 is like I just get really tight, like my hip flexors, and because of my back injury and
That's
stuff.
where Ryan Hughes comes in.
And so I just, you got to
he'll
unlock the
those
hips.
Those hips, man.
But I just try, like, lately, like this year, it's just kind of all been about stretching and trying to stay loose. And I heard like bone density is going to start going away as I get older.
Oh,
and shit like that.
Metamucil, is any of that happening?
Not boner density, bone density. The other thing's fine.
Okay.
All right, no highlights
Nobody
of that.
asked,
We're
man.
we're taking your word for it, but I mean,
Metamucil. You
gear
into
is
that?
called
What are we doing on the
Yeah,
podium?
so, yeah,
Popping
no,
the
that's
champagne
all-
on Metamucil and Tums? Like,
Yeah.
they're only old for dirt
I'm
bike
old
guys.
too,
They're
though. I
not
can
that
say
old.
this 'cause-
They're
Yeah,
just-
but it keeps you
It's
young,
old for a
like
dirt
it
bike
keeps
guy.
you fit,
Yes.
it keeps you young, like, and it's the best stress relief. Like when I train and then eventually start riding and all this, I sleep so much better than when I don't.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, it keeps you young. See? Don't ask the guy why he's doing it anymore.
I went
There's plenty of
to
upside.
so I went to see my buddy Ricky Chauncey plays rhythm guitar for Hank Williams Jr. So I went to the show in Irvine a couple weeks ago, and Hank Jr., who's just a legend. Like he's just, you go to a Hank show, you know what you're gonna get, like, and it's just epic, right? And he's like, oh, good to be in Irvine. You know, he's like, we're going a lot of places yet this summer, but Over the Hill ain't one of them.
There it is.
There you go.
Shirt
There
right
you
there.
go. That's 50 plus.
I'm going a lot
everybody.
of places, but Over the Hill ain't one. I'm just gonna
That's
keep
good.
going as long as I can.
Hey, we're trying to talk Kevin Windham, and he's been watching all these races. He goes, man,
Yeah, I seen him at Freestone. He looks great. He's doing great, and he's riding again. And I was like, wait, I'm looking at the ages. Like, wait, how old is he?
he's a baby. He's
You're good in the 50.
Yeah, I'm good
for a
in the
while.
50. He
Yeah,
can't. You can
Yeah.
run, but you can't hide. You know.
Give
That's
Kevin
why I
a
needed
chance.
to win the 50 a couple years ago, and me and Keith Johnson went at it, and he got me.
Gosh.
He got me on it. And then like next year, Brownie's in there. You're like, shit. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be a tough one to move. He said he might try to race a national like next year, then be out of here.
Really?
So maybe
That'd be epic.
I think he said he wants to win next year, then race in the nationals after that, and then he'd be done. So if you can hang in to 2025, you might have a shot at it.
2020. I'll be 55,
Okay.
54 years old.
Okay. Yeah, there'll
I'll
be some
almost
other
as
hot
old
shot
as
coming through.
Kevin.
almost.
You guys been
Are you
battling
fully
for a long
invested in
time.
motocross? The pensions, are those checks coming in yet?
What's that?
That's what he's
Fully-
saying.
Yeah.
You put in your 25 years
Yeah,
and you
the
get a
league.
pension.
You get
Yeah,
fully
the league
vested.
pension is
yeah,
already
man, you start
fired
getting
in.
those checks, man. That's
No,
awesome,
man, I still, it's great because of the work I do with MX Locker, partners with them now, We Big,
The grips?
ODI grips,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
I kind of forget about it because it's kind of a,
It's been around a while.
Viral goggles that just picked up. We do the stuff with Elevate, so it's really like riding. I'm out at the track more, and I'm just more involved in what my business is, and so it's super fun. And it's like, if you had never been here before, people would be like, oh my God, it's so dusty here.
Yeah.
Golf carts and kids everywhere, and blah blah blah, and it's loud, and it's this and that, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Will Ferrell in old school, you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So
Love it.
That's why we're here. All right, well, good to have you going, and who knows? He could be champ by the end of the week.
I mean,
Could be. We're acting like the Mike
I
Brown
mean,
thing. I mean, it already happened
if
once.
you're
He beat
gonna
him once.
win one, do you want to win the senior 40?
no, you want to win the
This would be a
it says
senior
Masters,
40. Are you
bro.
kidding me?
You're like ninjas.
Or-
You're ninjas.
The Masters 50 plus champion.
Boom. That's
That's
what's up.
got to. They need to change the name of that 40. That's
Yeah. Even
like what they
vet's
call
not an insult.
45. Does 45 have a
Not
name
a cool
to it?
name. No, you get
Yeah,
Masters
Like
and
super
ninjas and-
senior? What do they even call
Old
it?
heads. Yeah, it's just not
Yeah.
cool. Dad class.
Yeah, we need to
New
work on
Balance
that.
class.
We need to. I'll
It's
I'll
Yeah.
good.
go take
Yeah.
that up with Rita
Jorts
here after
class.
this and see
Jorts.
how that goes.
The jorts and New Balance
New
class.
Balance.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Thrillers.
Fro, good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's
It's always,
good to see you guys
fun.
too.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thanks,
it's like
brother.
a darn
Well, hopefully I
tradition.
get to visit you guys on the
In the booth, for sure.
on the podium.
Yep.
A little bit more podium. I'm racing this weekend, so I can't just.
Fair enough. Beer tent?
Beer
I
tent.
was talking about the beer tent.
Friday night, it's on.
All right.
Friday night.
Jackson Diet Cokes.
On him.
He's got the best energy drink sponsor out
Ever.
there.
Just in my jersey. I love this.
Yeah. Hey, if he's winning a title, he might just be like that.
Well, that's
Oh,
it
yeah.
for Radio Foxweeds. We're going to take a day off. We need to take a breather here. We're going to come back Thursday.
I like it.
Bigger, stronger, bolder, faster, like $6 Million Man. See this guy win
yeah.
and drink all the good stuff on the podium.
Okay,
That's
I'm
it.
just speeding up till Friday.
There you go.
For him.
Speed it up.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it.